you so much for watching the Press Avenue YouTube channel. My name is John, and I like to talk about WordPress tutorials, plugins, and themes. Today we're talking about a free contact form plugin called HappyForms. Absolutely love the name, and actually I love using the plugin as well. Over at HappyForms, .me, they have more information about this. It is a freemium plugin, so they have a free and paid version, and I'll be talking about the free version and how easy it is to create a form for your website. If you like these kind of videos, go ahead and hit that red subscribe button. Additionally, if you like this video about HappyForms, I'd love a thumbs up and also a comment. I love talking to you guys, I love answering questions, and I'd love to hear from you. Lastly, I have a Facebook group where you can ask more questions about this particular plugin or other plugins, and I'll link below to that. Thanks again for watching. I've come over to WordPress.org just to show you the details about it. As of right now, I'm doing this April 30th, 2020. It was updated 10 hours ago. I always look on this right-hand side to see how things have been updated. If a plugin hasn't been updated in a while, I get a little nervous. 30,000 people are using it. Tested at 5.3 for PHP. And then it's got 4 to 5 stars. And then they offer just some things that it does. So it works with Gutenberg, which is fantastic. Some other ones that have been out a long time don't actually do this. They have a live form preview. You can do unlimited forms, parts, emails, and messages, which is great. There's no limit there. Spam prevention, GDPR, and 508 compliant and secure forms. And then the free version does everything that's listed here. And then they also have an upgraded version which does all the rest of this, which is an absolute ton. But for free, you can do a short text, which is probably a name. Long text can be comments, questions, getting a quote. Grab their email, multiple choice, checkboxes, radio buttons, drop down, and a number. So let's get into HappyForms and build a simple form for your website, and we'll also get into some other stuff. All right, so I'll go over to, this is basically just a testing site where I test plugins. I'm going to go ahead and go to the dashboard of WordPress, and I've already logged in. I'll go to plugins and then add new. And on the top right, I'll type HappyForms, and all one word, so no space between happy and forms. Next, you'll see right here, it's 2 hands grabbing each other in a kind of quote talk box here. I'll go ahead and hit install. Give it 1 moment. Activate. And then when you first activate, you get this step here. It says enter your email to agree to notifications and sharing some data with the themefoundry.com. Typically, I skip this every time. I am glad it has a skip this step, so I hit continue. But if you want that stuff, you can go ahead and hit your email in there and hit go, and you can enter it. Now, when I first get to the forms, what I see on the side here is HappyForms. It has all forms, add new, activity, settings, and upgrade. Now, I do realize freemium plugins where you get a little bit for free, and then if you want the extra, you do pay. And a lot of them, from Gravity Forms to WPForms, they do the same kind of method. HappyForms does the same thing. If you need extra options, you do pay for that, but I have found that they are cheaper than some of the other big ones, which we'll get into in a bit. So when I first get here, it shows me my forms, and it has a sample form, and then it has the short code here, and then the author and the date it was created. What we're going to do is go to Add New and jump into creating a basic form. So here we are here. Our basic form will be a contact form. So I'll say Contact Us. And you can see I filled it on the left-hand side in the customizer in this gray bar here. And on the right, it shows a live preview of what I'm getting, which I love. Next, it says add a part here to appear in your form. So the parts are each field under the title. So it could be a name, phone number, question, etc. So their terminology is to add a part. So we'll click add a part, and it shows all the parts that are available. Now you'll notice short text, long text, email. These are all included in the free one. Then if it says upgrade, that's in the paid one. So we're going to stick to the free one for this video. So you can see multiple choice, drop down number, but you can get all these other fields: signature, compliance, rating, blanks, placeholder, MailChimp, etc. So I'm going to click short text. And first we're going to ask for their name. So you could say your name. You can put the label display either above the field, below it, to the left of it. So that's to the left. Inside of it, which I actually really like, so it's in the field itself, or you can hide it depending on what you want. You can also say above and then do a placeholder and say first, last. So then they see in gray here, and then they click it and add John Doe or Jane Smith or whatever their name is. Additionally, what you can do is I can go to more, and under width here, it has a drop down. Right now it's full width. You can see it goes edge to edge. Let's do half. So now it cuts it in half, and then I can click duplicate. Now I have your name and your name copy. And what I love about this is there's no CSS styles. I don't have to figure out, well, I need 50% over here and 50 over here. I don't have to get into padding or anything like that. I just click more and then half, and that's what I appreciate about this. Now, if you know a lot about CSS, you can put custom styles in here, but there is a way to style this, and we'll get there in just a moment. So now we'll change this label to last name, and then I'll come back here and hit this drop down, and I'll change this to first name, and then I can get rid of my placeholder. Next thing I would point out is this is required. I can turn this on or off. Instead of putting the little red star that you typically see, it leaves it like this. If I uncheck it, it says optional. And I kind of like that. It's nice and different. So close up this more. And then last name, I'll delete this as well. And then other things that are in here, logic. If you click logic, it does tell you need to upgrade, which is fine. But just to show you. So now I have first and last name, and they're split. If I wanted to add a middle initial, I could come back to first name. I can say, whoops, I can go to more. I can do a third. Then I can come to last name. Do a third. Just bear with me. I can duplicate the last name. And I'll change this to middle name. And I can actually make this optional. And then I'll come down to last name, and I'll delete the copy bit of it. And there we have it. So now we have 3 columns, no code, no dragging things around. It just works straight out of the box. Now, just like the customizer for other things like your header or your site, down at the bottom here, we can view this on a portrait version of a tablet or on a phone. So it stacks up really nicely, and you can see it and view it right out of the gate without having to save it, publish it to a page, open the page, drag the thing around, and see if it works. All right, so there's the short text part. I'm going to add another part. We'll do long text, and I'll say questions or comments. I'm going to make this required, and then under more, you can make this, you can limit the characters, and it counts them for you. So if you want them to leave about a tweet's worth, you could leave it there. If you want them to write a book, you could say in 1,000 words or less, let us know why, or how we can help. So max words count. Minimum words, maybe it's for school and they have to turn in at least 1,000 words. Or maybe it's for a grant application, which I've seen a lot of with nonprofits, which says, tell us in so many paragraphs why you need this grant. So this is a great thing here. It's very easily done. So you can do characters or words. So let's say keep it short and sweet. We'll keep it at 100 max words. And I really like that about this. Next, we'll add another part. We'll say email. We'll go to label. I'll say email. Above, you can say here, we hate spam. So we hate spam as much as you, and we'll only use this to contact you. So there's email. And then you can change the appearance for the description if it's on focus or it's on a tooltip. So they can hover over this and it can say the same thing, which I think is fantastic. Now what I like about this is we have everything stacked up here, but maybe I want email under first name. So I simply just drag this up and there it is. And what I love about this is it's very fast. There's no delay, there's no loading bar. It's very quick and nimble. All right, so we've added email. Now I'll add a single choice and we'll say favorite animal. And then the choices are down here. So it says no choices added. I can add a single choice. So I can say cat. I can add another choice, dog, or bulk choices. And you can copy and paste your choices here with each new choice on a separate line. So if you had an Excel sheet or Google Sheets, you can just paste it straight in here and have a huge list. So I'll add one more choice. Bird. And then we can also go down to more. And then you can display vertically or horizontally. This I absolutely love because instead of making this really, really long form, you can spread it out horizontally to each edge depending on how many things you have and shrink up that form so people aren't endlessly scrolling. Choice width, you can pick, you can spread them out. And I'll just do auto because I think it looks really good. All right, and just like first, middle, and last, I could do 3 columns. So I could do favorite cats, favorite dogs, favorite birds, and I could say, you know, parrot, chickadee, woodpecker, etc. And it can be in 3 nice columns. All right, so this is required, or I can uncheck it, and it's optional. So we'll leave it at optional. And then I can shrink this down. I can also move this above the questions. Next, I'm going to go to add a part. I'm going to multiple choice. Now let's say, would you like to be contacted via phone or email? That's pretty simple. I'll go here, phone, and we can say text, and then we can say email, and we can even say all the above. And then I'd like to display this, so I'm going to go to more. I'm going to do horizontal. And you can see that, and I'll actually do width as half, and then I'll pull it up above the favorite animal. So we'll go shrink this down, pull it up here, go here, come back down, and the width under the animal, say half, and it just puts it up there. And I just love that. It's great. If you get lost in this kind of left-hand side area, we can click around on these pencils and it'll bring us straight to it. So I've worked with other forms plugins where finding the field, you just scroll forever. This is great. I'm here at email, I want to fix it. I click email and it opens it up for me. So it's really thought through, which I appreciate. All right, add a part. I'll show you the drop down. Favorite car, and then it says choose, which I appreciate. Other forms you would say, you know, click here or click below, but this one says choose, which I actually really like. Say truck, van. Let's see. And then next we'll do, all right, so there's favorite car. And again, I'm going to drag this above my questions. And again, I can make this thirds if I'd like. I'm going to leave it as this. We're going to go to add part. And the last thing I'll show you is the number field. We'll say, oh, this isn't the phone number field. We'll just say age. Above, below, placeholder. Minimum 0. Maximum, I don't know, the oldest person in the world. But If you had a minimum age of, if the rules for something was minimum age was 18, you asked them for their age and you said 14, you could throw out all those entries. So I'll leave that there. So that's the number field. And I'll actually split this up with this drop down. So go back down to drop down and we will have this so it's 50-50. So we'll go to more and then half and then age and then more half. So yeah, really nicely split up. Next we'll go to setup. So we just go over in the next tab. I really like how it's set up. So success message. Do I want to send them a message when they fill this form out? So I fill this whole thing out and hit send. Next I see this message. It says, thank you so much. You're entered in for the giveaway. Or thank you so much for contacting us. We'll get back to you in the next 1 to 2 days. Or you can send them to a web page. So they fill this out. Oh, the web page is not the free one. So you have to be paid for that. So we'll do the message itself. Thank you so much for contacting us. Always check your spelling. Error message. So if they didn't do something correctly, maybe they didn't fill out the last name, they only filled out the middle name, this is the message they will receive. Optional part label. So if you can change where it says optional. So it's just totally up to you. I actually like how it says optional, so I'll leave it. Send, you can say submit. You can add your own classes here. And then spam prevention, I do like that they included this in the free version. I do think it's very helpful because there's so many forms out there. And then you can also just hide the whole form after they submit it. Next, email. So receive submission alerts to your email address. You can blind copy either a coworker or another email address that you have as well. The subject can be you received a new message. Typically, I change this to the form's name from the contact us form. This way, when you get other forms, maybe have a quote submission, a giveaway, etc., you know what people are sending it from. So I know it's from the contact us form. Additional confirmation emails. So it's from me when I hit reply. And then the display name is Press Avenue and the email subject is we received your message. So this is a confirmation email sent to the person contacting us. So if they put an email in here, I can also turn this off. And then include submitted values, which is what I want or don't want. Next, style. Now this I absolutely love. There are plenty of forms plugins out there, but you can't style them unless you dive into CSS. And some of them you can't style them unless you know advanced CSS where you can dig down and really change it. So this style really helps out. So under general, you can change the width and the padding. So we can say we want it narrow, we want it wide, and it just shows you. I like the defaults because I like edge to edge. Direction, left to right. I'm in the States, so everyone reads left to right, or you can do right to left. So there it is, right to left. Message location, above or below, and there's the change there. Primary colors, maybe we want everything to be blue. And then the success message, we want to be a little greener. And then I always leave red for errors. Next, we go back. And then on the title, we can show or hide. Typically, I hide the title because it's at the top of the page. But if you're inserting this in other places, you'd probably want to show it. There's the alignment here. So contact us in the middle. But if I hide it, it doesn't matter. Parts, borders, and spacing. So the border is right here. So if I go to hide, it'd be really hard to see unless I had a different colored background, which I don't currently because it's white on white. Show, so I always leave that for accessibility, so people can see it. Border location, you can make it like, what are those things called? I'm going to space what it's called. There's a game where you fill in the words. I just leave all of them. You can do square. I like rounded or pill, which is pretty popular, so I'll leave round. Outer spacing, we can clean it up a little bit and bring it in. I do like how wide it is. You can make it super wide. If you have an older population filling this out, I would look at super wide and also darkening this because people might not see the contrast there. And that's how we do it here. So border, our logo's red, so I'll make that red. Border focus, you can have it change when you're in it. So it's like, oh yeah. I mean, that looks great. It's hard to do this in other form plugins. That's why I appreciate this one. Background and background focus, I'll leave the same. Next, there's tons to get through. Toggle the placeholder on focus. So if you see, it comes up when I'm on the placeholder and then it disappears when I'm not. That's up to you. It's kind of just a nice, subtle style. These are all the labels. You can. That's the description. We can make them bold, normal. Title, font weight. We made it disappear. I'll go back. Drop downs. You can put a background color in here, but I leave it as white because I like white. Radio buttons. You can style them here. So I actually think that's pretty sharp as a default. Submit button. Now I love this one because it's hard to do in other forms plugins, and this one makes it easy. So border, you can't really see, but it's a subtle difference. You can make it pill-shaped. You can make it a square box. Just depends on your style. Full width. I love making the buttons full width at the bottom just because it's easier to, on a phone, it's easier to click it in instead of going to the side. You can change the font size, and it's just a slider. We can make it bold, and then you can change the colors. So we'll say red, and then on focus, black's not bad. I'll just do a darker red so you can see it there. The border, it's very subtle. And then the text, I think white on red looks great. And then finally, we hit save. So now we're going to insert this into a contact page. So we've built the form in HappyForms. Now we're going to close, and it takes us back to the WordPress dashboard. So there's our form right there. Now I can copy this, and they give a really nice copy to clipboard. Or within Gutenberg, you can have the block straight in your page. So go to Pages and then Add New. And then I have Elementor installed, but that's what that is up there. But everything below that's just stock WordPress. So let's say HappyForms Demo. And then I maybe write a little bit of copy, phone number, email, how to get a hold of us, a map. And then I click plus. And then most used, if you haven't used it yet, it wouldn't be in the most used. It's based on what you use. So typically I just search. So I say happy, pretty easy, and I click it. Now it says, which form do you want to use? Because it comes with a sample form, and then it has a form that I created. So I'm going to create the Contact Us form. Then it says, there are other more powerful features you can upgrade. But we created this great form without upgrading. And then it shows a preview of how it looks in my page, which I absolutely love. Again, over here on the side, if you can change the form here, and then under Advanced, you could add additional classes like other Gutenberg blocks. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hit Publish, and I'm sure, and then View the page. So now here we are. I just have a simple header and just white as a theme, but your header would be whatever you have at the top with a menu. This is the page title. This is not the title of the form. If you remember, I hid that. And then I can go ahead and fill this out. And then I like dogs, and you can call me on the, I forgot to put a phone field. Age, getting old, questions, nope. If you see that, it's only got one. It's counting the actual words. It's not counting the letters. And then I hit submit. And then it says, thank you so much for contacting us. Anyway, I absolutely love this. It's very clean. If you have any questions about HappyForms, the free version, please let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, I'd love a thumbs up, and also which parts you like about it, and if you want to see more videos like this. Additionally, go ahead and hit that red subscribe button to see more WordPress tutorials just like this. Thank you so much for joining me on the Press Avenue YouTube channel.